I camp alone sometimes. It's not brave or macho, just something I do to get away from people. No notifications, no conversations, just me, my gear, and the woods. That weekend I went deeper than usual. Somewhere along the edge of a national forest, way off trail. I set up my tent by a stream, got a fire going, and let the silence settle in. The first night was perfect. Cold air, no bugs, just the crackle of firewood and a sky full of stars. But around 2 a.m., I woke up to something strange. Voices. At first I thought I was dreaming, but then one voice rose above the others. It sounded like me. Not similar, not kind of. It was exactly my voice. Same tone, same little rasp I get when I've been quiet for too long. And it was right outside my tent. I sat up, heart pounding, straining to listen. My voice, this copy of me, was talking to someone else. Calm, conversational, saying things like he thinks he's alone and it'll be easier if we do it now. But that was just the beginning. I held my breath and unzipped the tent just enough to peek out. There was no one there, no fire, no footsteps, just pitch black woods and a heavy fog rolling in low. I waited until dawn before stepping out. I didn't sleep again. Every little crack of a twig had me flinching. But when the sun came up, it felt fine, normal even. So I stayed another night. Big mistake. Around the same time, 2 a.m, I heard it again. My voice. Closer. Only this time, it was talking to me. Come outside, it whispered. I want to show you something. I didn't move. I know you're awake. I can hear your heart. That's when I knew I was being watched. Something scraped along the outside of the tent. A slow, dragging sound like a fingernail across canvas. I clutched the flashlight, ready to swing it like a weapon. Then I saw the silhouette. My exact outline. Same height, same hair. Even the way I stand, leaning slightly to the left. Except it wasn't breathing. Just standing there, head tilted, like it was trying to study me. And then it smiled. Not a regular smile. A smile that glowed in the dark, like it didn't need light to be seen. The kind that stretches too wide, too sharp, like it had too many teeth and no idea how to use them. I wish I could say it ended there. But I ran, grabbed my bag, left the tent and gear, and bolted through the trees without looking back. I didn't stop running until I saw headlights on the distant road. I told myself it was exhaustion, stress, sleep deprivation. But when I got home, there was a voicemail on my landline. It was me, my voice, laughing and whispering, "You left me behind." We were supposed to stick to the loop. That's what the ranger told us when we checked in. Stay on the South Ridge Trail. Everything else is either washed out or not maintained. But around mile 4, we saw it. A narrow path branching off to the left, barely visible under the moss and pine needles. No sign, no markers, just footprints, fresh ones. So of course, we followed it. Greg said, "It's probably an old game trail," but it was too neat, too deliberate. It wound between the trees like it had purpose. After about 10 minutes, we noticed something weird. No birds, no squirrels. Just the sound of our boots crunching and the occasional whisper of wind. The deeper we went, the quieter it got. That's when I saw the totems. Bundles of bones, animal, I think, tied with twine and hanging from the trees. Not just 1 or 2, dozens, spinning slowly, as if moved by a breeze we couldn't feel. I wanted to turn back right then, but Greg was already 30 feet ahead, filming with his phone. This next part, I still can't explain it. The trail suddenly opened into a clearing, and in the middle of that clearing was a perfectly round stone well. No buildings, no signs of human life, just that one well and those awful, rattling totems swinging overhead. Greg stepped closer, phone out. "You getting this?" I told him not to. Begged honestly, but he was grinning. "What? You think it's cursed or something?" And then the rope moved. There was a rope dangling from a crossbeam above the well, frayed and half-rotted. It had been still when we entered the clearing, but now it was swaying, as if someone had just climbed down, or up. We heard it before we saw it. A wet, dragging sound from inside the well, like something heavy was being pulled up the stones. Greg leaned closer. I yanked his hoodie and whispered, "Don't." Then something reached over the edge. A hand. But it wasn't right. It had too many knuckles, too many joints. It moved like broken branches snapping back into place. We ran. We didn't even try to find the trail again. We just tore through the woods, cutting our legs on brush and thorns, too afraid to look back. But we heard it following. Not fast, just steady, dragging, breathing. By some miracle, we burst back onto the main trail just as the sun was starting to dip. I don't even remember the hike back to the car, just the feeling of needing to get as far from that place as possible. Later that night, Greg checked the footage on his phone. The screen went black the moment he zoomed in on the well. Nothing recorded after that. Just one frame stayed frozen. The rope, and something just beneath the surface of the stone. Something with hollow eyes. Watching. I wish I could say it ended there. But last night, Greg texted me a picture. It was a new trailhead, right behind his apartment, and hanging from the fire escape, one of those bone totems. It was supposed to be a quiet night. Just me, my dog Clover, and the fog rolling over Pinebreaker Ridge. I'd hiked up here to get away from noise. No service, no people, no distractions. The trees were thick, the air damp, and the silence almost spiritual. By dusk, I'd set up camp, made a fire, ate some beef jerky and split a little with Clover. She curled up beside me, twitching in her sleep, like she was chasing something in a dream. That's when the fog started thickening. Not just a light mist, but a wall of white that swallowed the forest whole. I figured it would pass, but it didn't. By 10 p.m., I couldn't see the tree line, and Clover, normally calm, was growling at the darkness beyond the firelight. Her ears were up, and her body was tense. I whispered, "It's just a deer." She didn't stop growling. Then I heard the crunch of footsteps, slow, deliberate, coming from somewhere behind the fog. I stood up, flashlight in hand, but the beam didn't pierce more than a few feet, just swirling mist in the shape of my tent. Clover barked once, loud, piercing, then backed up behind me. "Who's there?" I called. No answer, but the footsteps stopped. I scanned the area, heart pounding. My breath came out in clouds, and it felt wrong. The air was too cold, too wet, like I'd stepped into a different season. Then came the sound, not footsteps this time, but clicking, like someone tapping teeth together, rhythmic, chattering, and it was circling us. Okay, we were done. I tossed dirt on the fire, grabbed Clover's leash, and went for my tent to grab my pack, except it wasn't there. The tent was gone. No flattened poles, no torn fabric, just bare ground, I turned in every direction. Nothing but fog. That's when I made the biggest mistake of my life. I ran. I didn't think. Just bolted toward where the trail should have been, Clover right beside me. We ran for what felt like forever. Trees blurred past. Fog clung to my face like wet fingers. And then the clicking stopped. I turned around. That was when I saw it. It had the shape of a man, tall, hunched, but it shimmered like heat waves. And its face, no features, just skin stretched over where a face should have been. And it raised one long arm and waved. I wish I could say it ended there. But every time I close my eyes, I hear the clicking again. It follows me now, not in the woods, here, at home. Sometimes Clover barks at corners. Sometimes the fog creeps beneath my door. Whatever it was, it followed me home. And it's still clicking, waiting. Thanks for listening. Now close your eyes and sleep.